Welcome to this week's Kline May Corner.
Thanks for joining us for the Kline May Corner, and welcome again to the last week of our discussion about agency. The law says in Virginia that even though the agreements are always signed with the brokerage firm and under the broker's name, that the broker could designate two different agents from the same firm to represent a buyer and a seller. So what would happen there is Agent A would represent their client fully and could advocate for their client and give them advice and act as their agent. Same thing with Agent B working with their client. They would work for them exclusively. The broker, kind of at the top of the chain, would be considered to be a dual agent, which would mean he would represent or she would represent both parties, couldn't advocate for either one, couldn't give advice to either one that might be a detriment to the other because they did represent both parties. So that's designated agency, and in talking about that we touched on dual agency, and that's actually legal in Virginia for an agent to do. If both parties sign off on it saying they realize that their agent also represents the other party, an agent can act as a dual agent. The dual agent cannot advocate for either side, cannot give real estate advice to either side. They really become a facilitator trying to help two independent parties get from contract to closing. So that's a wrap-up of our discussion about agency. You can see there are a lot of different situations that can arise, and it can become a little bit confusing. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Just send us an email to info@klinemay.com. The address is right on your screen, and we can continue our discussion.
Thanks for watching this week's Kline May Corner.